Greetings and salutations. Welcome to part 3 of our video series on brain activation. In this last video, I will describe in detail how brain activation for health actually works. Please refer to the previous 2 videos for additional information on why it works and what it actually is doing in the brain. The frontal lobe of the brain is responsible for paying attention and being present in the moment. This is what makes it possible for us to become conscious of our unconscious thoughts. It is where we hold our intentions, and therefore it is in the frontal lobe that we can decide to focus ourselves on a course of action to manifest those intentions. Emotions are literally energy in motion. The heart is actually 5,000 times magnetically stronger than the brain. In fact, emotions are stored as magnetic fields in the gut, the lining of the lung, and the blood vessels, which is why emotions tend to affect those parts of our body so much. To change your state of being from the same familiar thoughts and feelings that we mentioned in video 2 to being a new way, you must combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion. The newest neuroscience proves it is absolutely possible to believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet, but you have thought about enough times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the event has already occurred. This has been shown, for instance, with basketball players mentally practicing a free throw and actually improving their shot completion. So the body starts to respond as if this had actually happened. This is simply redirecting where the energy is flowing in your brain. For instance, when the gazelle is running away from the tiger, all its systems are turned on maximum sympathetic nervous system for survival. It does not stop and take a nap or eat lunch or make a baby or lick its wounds. It just gets its butt away to survive. This is similar to what a country has to do with its resources. If the country decides to expand in a world it perceives as safe, it supports new businesses, builds infrastructure, enhances the education of its citizens. It directs those resources to those things. If instead the country sees danger, fears its neighbors, has internal turmoil, it has to direct its resources to fighting, military force, arms races. It can't do both things at once. Brain activation can help us keep enough resources banked for danger, but allow us to redirect more of those resources to growth and expansion. We now live in a world of 24/7 stress. For instance, every time we look at the news, we hear of a new disaster. Just because it's not directly occurring in our living rooms, the body still senses that there is a lion chasing it. Therefore, we must begin to consciously pull our attention away from the survival-only sympathetic nervous system so that we can turn on the restorative parasympathetic nervous system, causing us to rest, digest, and repair. The brain is triggered by the same virtual reality as it is by actual reality. For instance, if I really think that there is a lion behind me, it will raise my blood pressure, my heart rate, and my blood glucose as if being ready to fight or flight or free from the lion, just as if the lion were actually there. We can capture this powerful brain-body interaction to also turn on the healing mechanisms of the parasympathetic nervous system, which causes us to rest, digest, and repair. This turns on hormonal signals, immune system, and detoxification, which was turned off by the idea of the lion chasing me. Many people ask me how much stress contributes to illness. When we understand that stress is mostly triggering the sympathetic fight or flight or freeze reactions and preventing the restorative rest, digest, repair of the parasympathetic nervous system, we can see that stress contributes greatly to chronic illness. There are basically 3 types of stress: physical, such as traumatic injuries; chemical, which includes toxins and viruses, and even lack of blood glucose control, over and under eating, excessive alcohol and recreational drug use; And that which we mostly think of as stress is usually emotional, such as family tragedies, job changes, parenting challenges, traffic, and so forth. Yet all of these have very physical effects on the body. The signal for the body to adapt to these stresses is controlled through the brain to the adrenal glands in what is called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Chronic stress literally addicts us to the hormones and neurotransmitters the body is using trying to cope with this. And so we keep ending up in more stress because we are addicted to those chemicals. The Inside Out operating system mindful movie process is designed to specifically find the tigers your brain is sensing and redirect that energy to life-affirming parasympathetic activities to switch on healing in your body. To do this, we must get your brain and your heart coherent. That is, all systems focusing in the same direction for long enough and frequently enough to trigger the healing. Of the four main types of brain waves, that is beta, alpha, theta, and delta, we mostly use beta and alpha while we're awake. Beta waves are our ordinary, interactive, analytical mind waves. When we allow ourselves to get into a state of relaxed awareness, fully awake, but with a more calm spaciousness in our brains, we're in alpha waves. This is where more brain coherence happens. As we allow our breathing to become more calm and deep, our hearts and brains become coherent together. Now your brain can follow through with the actions that create this calm, coherent, life-supporting way of being. Applying techniques utilized in fMRI, that is functional MRIs of the brain, we will do a deep dive into your own subconscious during a 3-hour session, identifying which triggers to unplug and which life-enhancing signals to rewire into your brain. You retain complete control over the process with continuous editing input. After your 5-minute Inside Out OS mindful movie is produced, it is yours to keep, and we recommend that you review it daily for at least 30 days as you firmly hardwire the new patterns for the goals that you desire. Learn more about producing your expert brain activation mindful movie with Inside Out OS. I'm Dr. J.P. Pizzino. I look forward to seeing you soon. Sign up for a free discovery session to learn more about this with the link below. Have an artful day.